Hi guys, this is Omer from MMOHut.com. I'm going to do another quick weekly recap of MMO news and announcements for the week ending November 5th, 2012. And as you can see from the video playing in the background, the first piece of news we're taking a look at this week has to do with the Age of Wushu from Snail Games. The news is the Age of Wushu officially announced its release schedule for North America. Fantasy-themed MMORPG developed by the Chinese studio Snail Games is set to officially launch in the US sometime on February 2013. It's still a while away, but two closed betas are set to begin before that release date. The first takes place on November 15th, and the second takes place next month on December 20th. The game has been in development for 5 years apparently, and is already enormously popular in China. The open beta for the game already began in China sometime in August, so the February release date in the US isn't too far away from the Chinese open beta. The game aims to differentiate itself from other MMORPGs by having a classless progression system, so no set classes, and we'll see how that works when the game launches early next year. Next up, some big news from Area Games. On October 30th, Area Games announced a brand new MMORPG with an all-female cast called Scarlet Blade. If the name sounds a bit familiar, it's because it's the US version of the Korean MMORPG Queen's Blade. The game features some sci-fi elements, action-oriented combat, massive PvP battles, and more. Pretty sure they had to redesign the game a bit for North American audiences though, as the Korean version was an adult-only game. Plus I suspect that there were some other legal issues using the name Queen's Blade in North America. Unfortunately, Area Games didn't outline a release schedule, so it could be a while before Scarlet Blade actually hits open beta. All we know is that it was licensed by Area for North American markets. No word on whether European users will be able to play on the same server just yet. Up next, November 1st, Jagex, the company behind the enormously popular game RuneScape, announced that its innovative shooter named Ace of Spades will be launching on Steam sometime in December 2012. Like Breakforce, Ace of Spades features retro-looking graphics and the ability for players to build and change the battlefield during an actual battle session. Maps feature up to 32 players and destructible environments. The game's sandbox element make it sound unusually similar to Breakforce, though it's not fair to say it copied Breakforce, as Ace of Spades has been in beta since early April 2011, which is long before Breakforce actually launched. There's no doubt both games were inspired by Minecraft though, especially this one. The December release is set to use a new graphics engine as well, so the visuals will be much more polished. Next up, also November 1st, a small bit of news for Legend of Edda Vengeance from Games Campus. Games Campus released some details for new mounts being added to the relaunched version of Legend of Edda. You can see them in the mounts trailer in the background video. It's not really huge news, but it does show that Games Campus is making progress towards actually relaunching the game. Still no word on exactly when closed beta test begins though, but open beta is set to begin about 1 to 2 weeks after closed beta ends, so it should be a pretty fast transition. Up next, some news from Perfect World Entertainment. On November 1st, Blacklight Retribution launched the Evacuation update, which features new weapons, a new hero Lilith, and an increased level cap of 40. Also including the update though is a new Evacuation map, which is the name of the update actually. And to celebrate the launch of the Evacuation update, players who reach the new level cap of 40 get a free limited edition Valve Armored Helmet. Next up, a small update from Hi-Res Studios regarding their self-proclaimed AAA MOBA, Smite. On November 2nd, Smite received a patch which added a new game mode called Arena, which is a team deathmatch style mode set in a new Coliseum style map. The new Arena mode is designed to create action faster, which would result in quicker and more action-packed matches. In addition to the new game mode, Hi-Res added the latest god or hero to the game, called Loki, the Trickster God, which is a physical melee fighter who's shown in the video in the background. Smite still remains in beta, but the game is quickly gaining popularity and remains as an alternative to Dota and League of Legends. Well, that's it for MMO news, but as for games coming soon, we have nothing on the radar. But as for games recently launched, we have two games to look at. The first is MechWarrior Online from Piranha Games, which will officially launch into open beta on October 29th. The game was originally scheduled to go into open beta a bit earlier, but was pushed back. Good to see they actually worked out whatever bugs were preventing them from launching the game earlier. And since closed beta, the game has already done about 5 million in founder pack sales, which shows that the game has quite a bit of followers. It's one of the few free-to-play Western-developed games out there as well. And since the shutdown of X-Steel, it's one of the few mech-themed MMOs as well. The game that launched this week into beta is Game Globe from Bigpoint. Bigpoint is publishing the game, but it was developed by Square Enix. Game Globe is a sandbox browser-based MMO where players can create, share, and play their own games within Game Globe. So it's a playground for people to just create their own games and things of that nature. Like other Bigpoint titles, Game Globe runs entirely on the browser and features actually some solid 3D visuals. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO news and announcements for the week ending November 5th, 2012. Now if you want to read about or learn more about any news mentioned in this video, simply head over to MMOHut.com/news. And if you want to discuss any of this video, simply head over to MMOHut.com/forums. Anyway guys, this is Omer.